Right now, there is a huge momentum for European defense. As a result of the Russian invasion in Ukraine, defense budgets are on the rise throughout Europe. This offers a unique opportunity to ensure that the extra money is spent wisely. This can be done through increasing international cooperation. That is why now is a good time to talk about defense specialization. But what do we mean when we say defense specialization? My colleague Zandee and I will tell you all about this in this video explainer.
There is no agreed definition on defense specialization. We have defined it as capabilities in which a country excels, while it is partially or completely abolishing other capabilities. For those capabilities, the country will become dependent on one or more partner countries. And the problem here is that there is no international coordination between the countries in doing this. So all the countries are acting on their own, and this is what should change.
But not everybody is thrilled with the concept of defense specialization. There is especially opposition within the defense community. The idea is closely associated with the risk of dependency and a state having to give up sovereignty. Moreover, when the term specialization is coined, many will think about the period that specialization implied abolishing defense capabilities as a result of budget cuts.
These criticisms are somewhat justified, because in specialization a country will of course become dependent on the capabilities of another country. On the other hand, specialization can also bring benefits, and there are 4 examples. Firstly, it will strengthen the collective capabilities of all the countries together. Secondly, it can ensure access to capabilities which in particular smaller countries cannot afford. And examples here are, for example, missile defense and access to satellite capabilities in space. The third benefit is that by specialization, the interoperability between armed forces will also increase. And finally, the fourth benefit is that in due course it can lead to cost savings, so there is an economic benefit. In particular, this relates to the production, but also to the maintenance of equipment.
We distinguish 3 forms of specialization in our report. The first form of specialization is called Structured European Capability Groups. In this form of specialization, countries excelling in a particular capability will work together. Think of areas like amphibious forces, heavy land forces, and rapidly deployable intervention forces. Within such a group, the contributing countries could then specialize. Take for example the Initial Entry Forces group. One country can provide the air transport capability, while another country can provide the light infantry capability.
The second form of specialization is specialization in support functions, and by that we mean that countries have a specialization, for example, in training of personnel and in the maintenance of equipment. And in fact we have an excellent example of this. This is the Belgian-Dutch naval cooperation, where the Belgians take care of the training of personnel and the maintenance of mine hunters, and the Dutch do the same for frigates. Of course, this form of cooperation requires that countries do have 100% the same equipment, otherwise it will not work.
The third and final form is traditional specialization. This is the most far-reaching form of specialization, as it comes with a high level of dependency. A specific form of traditional specialization is non-specialization by design, which essentially follows a quid pro quo format. A concrete example thereof is Baltic air policing, in which NATO partners have agreed to secure the Baltic airspace by providing fighter aircraft. For small states like Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, this is very beneficial, as it is very expensive for them to maintain an own air force.
Okay, we broke down specialization in several categories. What should now be the key steps that should be taken? First, a country should recognize that they cannot do everything on their own. In other words, they have to accept that they have to become dependent on the capabilities of others. Second, we should recognize that Some countries are better to deliver certain defense capabilities or perform certain defense tasks. And we should make use of those strengths of countries to the benefit of all.
Would you like to know more on this topic, including specialization options for the Netherlands? Read the Clingendael report Specializing in European Defence, to choose or not to choose.